helps you penetrate the step.
I like this. I like the thing that has less of a arm drag. It feels like, from the verb, it feels like arm drag. My point is maybe moving. But I'm actually, half of it is pulling you, but the other half is lifting this foot and stepping forward. So it's, I'm going to way fast. Then the point of attacking here is to get that reaction. You get this, so I'm holding that foot. Have a good day, sir. Bye. I like them to take my feet. Especially you personally. I'd like to see more attacking this direction for the attacking side.
How about with, I feel natural when you let it snap down? That's it.
So, let's go over the specifics of snap downs. That's actually a really good point. So, most of the time we're trying snap downs from here. It's the worst fucking place to snap down. And the reason for that is this. Go ahead and snap me down. Go here. Yep, snap. Yep. It'll always work. From this collar tie, especially if I'm doing the right thing and I'm getting my head across, the snap down is not going to work. You shouldn't have to put it still. We're already tight here. I prefer the snap down. If I'm becoming collar tie, you're going to come collar. I'm going to hit this from the inside side. We're going to play this game a lot. I would much rather wait for a snap down, not early, but I'm going to push in, and I'm going to make you push back. Then I'm going to detach the snap down. The key to a snap down, though, is when I snap you, I generally want to snap towards this leg, but I can snap it away. If I face up too much, and I'm ready to pull you back, it's snap you into a single leg. I have to be ready. I have to be ready when I snap. And then be ready to go. The other thing that you should be aware of, if you like the snap, is if I come from here, and I snap and you just don't go down, I'm going to come back to my arm drag. If you posture up really quickly, the hips are available. And this is the part that's the thing that makes wrestlers dangerous. It is not that they've done 10,000 double ups. It's the fact that the interest, a single leg angle stuff that, and I'll switch here, here, and now we go.
I thought smooth transitions are good.
It's 1, 2, 3. It's not the first.
Yeah, that felt really smooth. I think where I'm at, stand up and it's like, I'm thinking tweaking, but it's not like smooth.
So
moving out and stand up. This.
imagine your elbows I can tie up, I can collar tie, and then I get locked in. Whereas what am I doing in collar tie? If I cut an inside side, what options do I have inside? Am I better defensively? Here. Underhook. Over. And that's what I'm trying to. Where am I flowing to? What's my thought process? And it's one of those things that I have to try out. When I'm coming for this, same way, where am I going next? How do I get this set to the finish? Oh yeah, that's right. Or, I'm just comfortable. Oh, is that double doesn't finish? That's where we've got to be. Where are you comfortable at? Do you like this over-under time? Where you're here? What are you comfortable at? If you're, I'm not going to say afraid, I'm not afraid. If you don't like the collar tie, because you get overpowered here, the inside ties work. If I just come here, I can work very defensively. I can be aggressive and work at my spacing from these inside ties. Because you can't shoot if I'm on the inside. Just the inside ties. We're just going to hook some bicep to the tricep. Look around, and then same thing on the other side. Yeah. Keep your hand position. Instead of, so it feels like you're coming in kind of like this. I'm going to say strong, keep your spinal line rather than breaking yourself. Put your spine like a very, yeah, just hard. I can move on fast as it feels like when you're using the head position, you're doing a lot of this. And if you look, I'm breaking my own spinal alignment to try and break his. I would much rather use my forehead to break it and stay in a good spinal aligned position here. Rather than, because again, I actually just remembered to do with the kids the whole practice where you hold your head, arms up, keep your head aligned, and then put your head to the ear, and then try and do the same thing. And for whatever reason, your arms just don't stay up there. Have you done that?
I'm actually working on something like that. So I kind of think of myself like a tailbone to the crown of my head. If that makes sense. So I'm trying to do a tailbone to there instead of side of something. That makes sense.
I try and think of it as like, using like a tailbone. And I'm going to try and drive that, but not this.
Yeah. Because I move my mouth. That's what you want. See the difference? It's just a slight subtle difference.
So it's going to give you more strength in there. So there, yes,
yeah,
much better, much better. Because I'm using a lot more strength to try and get more aligned, and I don't have to break that spinal alignment much. Now, from here, I can't shoot. Because as soon as I shoot, stay there. As soon as I change my level, you're there. You've got that, and I've got to translate through it. So defensively, it works for you, and offensively, when I get in, I stop here. When I try my gut feathers, see how all I have to do, as your shoulders start getting weak, and as your elbows get weak, I just have to shut the pads. I still have the option from this inside time, if I'm come here again, but I can stay, I can keep you out, and I can work your cardio, staying in and out, change your distances, manage your distance, control. And now, there you go. Much better. is where you need to be. Don't work the muscle gain, especially as munition. Don't fucking work the muscle gain. You have the speed and it's lower, it's easier in your place to move fast than it is to get those muscles and strain those joints. Work the outside, work the inside. Little collarbone action there. Yep, there you go. This is my idea that we work on. Inside, think the way you don't want to go. And again, if you're working with a white belt, it might take, don't go straight to it. If I'm working with a white belt, who's going to react? And you can teach them what they have to do. And give it a second. Oh crap! Go back to your next. Now you want this. You're Yeah. It teaches them, when I reach, this is a dangerous thing. Good job. This is a dangerous thing. You're going to get good at that. Let them be successful. You are teaching a good thing. Yes, you're setting them up for failure in the future, but you're also teaching, when I reach for this, it's dangerous. Good job.
Oh, yeah, well, study this and we're quite worried about this.
Right.
Because this and then something like this.
Because you don't want to hit the first thing. And you need them to bite. And your upper belts shouldn't be biting, shouldn't immediately be reacting to that grab. To that knee kick or that, whatever you're setting up. They should be reacting to that. So you're teaching the white belts, and you should be seeing a reaction from the upper belts, which is still going to lead you to the takedown you actually. Ideal. Let's go into the arm. Since we haven't done that. Wow. So from the guard. So, omoplata, when I went down to 6 weights, one of the things that he's teaching is everything we're going to do from the guard is all going to come down to this knee position and where the stick is. So bring this hip up. I'm always going to bring this knee here. And it's a question of, I'm almost always going to keep this knee for packing. If I keep this knee inside, and I come across to the arm bar, if I bring this inside here, go for the triangle. If I bring this across, and then bring it all the way up, I'm coming down. Key points on the elbow. I have to get this hip, whether I come all the way across to the elbow, whether I just stay with this hip. I have to sit up enough that I'm closing this and I'm catching it. And then I'm either going to bring this to your left. I'm either going to bring this leg up so that I can get more pressure on the shoulder down, or I'm just going to sit up further and further. Usually I'm going to break down here. And that's what I get. And I come across. But use my toe to put in your arm at this point. So, when it comes to that, chopping with this, definitely remember where this knee goes. As long as I keep it down. And the finish really comes full back. Steve likes to go all the way up to here. You can get this camera, which gives you
Yeah, I like the, this little bit.
position. So the first thing is go ahead and take your left knee and put it on my, or your left foot put it on my hip, keeping that knee chopped. Everything else is based on where this knee goes. As long as it stays under my armpit, you have two options. If I keep, yep, you're either gonna come up and across for the arm bar, you're gonna come in, up and over, for the triangle.
So this part right here, we're doing the century, oh no, that's different.
So we're gonna come up and over as if we're gonna do an arm bar. But we're gonna keep, now we're gonna break down. You're gonna keep breaking down. And you're gonna now take your foot all the way over.
So wait, this is that what we did? That's not what I thought. That's funny.
And you can keep going. That to there. But we have to make sure as soon as you cross over to that far ahead, you've got the flexibility. Let's take your left hand across the back of my head. Here we go. And posture up.
Detail you did that I didn't do. This is where I thought I was okay. We get jiu-jitsu. Chopping that comes up there. Like I'm gonna go from there. It felt like as you were coming here.
So I don't want this crossing over. I need to keep this to there. Yeah, however you get to there.
So as you went here, it felt like you didn't let me push that
Yep.
arm away.
And now you're gonna go get that far in. Yes. So there. From here, just stay right there for now. From here, I don't necessarily have to break me down. You will have to get your hips up. How to do that? Switch your hip, switch your feet up. So you're gonna take your left foot and bring it towards, or your right foot, bring it towards my head. And yep. And now you're gonna bring your left foot under your right knee. And you're going to use that lock to elevate yourself. Tap. There. So if for whatever reason, if that's part of it, keep that foot, don't let it run away. So now push your weight here and on my hip and lift. Tap.
Too much tension on that.
Yeah, I'm tapping early. I don't fucking like it.
So if I'm here, then
If you're there, yeah, when you switch, now lock your foot under.
like under here.
Yeah. And when you elevate your hip, that sucks.
So that gives me the option to do that.
If
I'm
I'm
gonna stay that way and keep inching out.
if I'm being really stubborn here and I'm locked in, so that I'm not letting you, because ideally what you're gonna do is as soon as you get that leg over, so bring your head further. You wanna take your head towards my feet. Yep, there we go. This is where you're gonna take your hips and back them over my hips. And you're holding on to this shoulder because you need to make sure that I don't either get my hips back up or turn to this shoulder because people don't hold. If I can get myself turned, my shoulder's in one stage or I don't like it, but
Better.
it's better for me.
Yeah. It seems like bigger dudes.
If you can get that, now I'm gonna try and break your back across mine. And I don't particularly want to do that. But again, if you get something big and stubborn with a good base, you can just finish it while their hips are still up. But you have to keep me. My other defense is as soon as you bring that foot over, is I can elevate my hips and hop over. That was. Come back here. You're defending.
So how are you just kind of feeling that?
Yeah, I need to keep this hand on that side, and now you're gonna kick that foot over. So from here. So hold on one second. So if you don't grab that hip, and I get my hand here, you go ahead and just hold on to the hand with your right hand. Yep. My defense, as soon as I get to here, I know, oh shit, that shoulder's fucked. So I'm gonna hips up, sometimes hips down, and now I'm gonna hop over.
Oh, I didn't see that.
That is, for me personally, as soon as someone starts going for the omoplata, that's the first thing I do.
Interesting.
Hips up and hop over.
I just go for the shoulder roll. Yeah, but they don't got my head.
Yeah, I mean, that's there too. But again, I think you're a little bit more mobile than me. For me, if I hip up top, then I stay in the top position. And even though my shoulders kind of crunch down between your hips,
It doesn't feel compromised when you're hopping.
not at all. In fact, it takes the So once I get to here, hips up, now hop over.
I mean, arms still.
Yeah, your arm is still there, but I'm turned into you. I'm in bottom side control. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's a nice little reverse. Want to try it one more time? Just
So with this whole series, I can see it.
Yep.
So we're working here, we're, arm bar, then we got this, get that loop there. Here, there.
So hold on, before I go to step over, I need to get this hand to the other side. There.
And that's what I want to do, so that.
Yeah, you have to get it to there, because if I'm here, you have to pin that back. Yep. So the triple threat in this is everything's going to the hip. We're always getting that left foot into the hip and closing this shoulder off. Because that leaves us our arm bar, that gives us our triangle. And if I posture up or if I get this arm away, this arm is still available. Most of the time I'm going to be hiding it because the arm armbar is going to be there on either side, especially if you go both feet to hips with some kind of wrist control. Better in the V. But that's what this was taught from the gi.
I like this, I like what Tony was showing us. I don't know if I see it, but
Right.
that triple threat there, but that's reliant on that new grip you're working on.
Yeah, that cross collar. Yeah, it's a thumb out grip.
But as soon as we did that, and you brought up, and we were missing, oh shit, you almost have a click in the E.
Yeah.
So I like the shifting and the control point to being really focused on knees and thighs.
And that's what, this is a big, this was 6 ways, challenge you about though. This is a big thing that he likes is that he wants to make sure that you're having that knee pressure all the time. He wants that knee pressure in that shoulder all the time. And you're only releasing it to go to something else. You have a plan when you release it. And it's one of those things that that he is absolutely adamant about. Is that when you get a thing, if this is a dominant thing to have, then you're gonna fucking keep that thing. And if you don't have, he was at one of the seminars, he was yelling at one of his 2 or 3 striped black belts about letting it go. And it was in Brazilian, so I don't know what exactly he said, but from the motion and the fucking yelling, he's like, don't ever fucking, basically he's saying, don't ever let that go. He wants that knee in that shoulder all the fucking time, don't ever let that go. And the dude looked, big dude, fucking intimidating looking, but I assume when John yells at you in Brazilian, fucking, you do what he fucking says.
2 things I'm curious about. One is get there and you got that. Okay. So I'm trying to just keep this. This is my control.
Yes.
I'm trying to keep this. John G's gonna yell at me
If you let that loose, if you relax on that, he's gonna fucking yell.
yeah.
It's important enough that he's gonna fucking yell.
So if we're in here and you give me like a little resistance and control.
So, my first point, again, knowing where we're at, is I wanna get my shoulder unpacked. So I'm gonna drive in a little bit, or I'm gonna try and get both elbows out. Because from here, you lose the triangle and you lose the arm bar. So that's what I'm looking at, is keeping that packed, those both packed. See how you've got, I can't get my elbows out, and I can't get my shoulders in. This is the point that he's talking about. And this is the point that you decide what you want. If you want the arm bar, you keep both of my arms in. So you would take this hand, take the other wrist. This hand, take this wrist.
This one.
Yes. And I wouldn't grab it, just hook over it and keep it in. Because now, when you take this leg across, no, you're good. And then here comes the other. Arm bars right. If you decide that, knees in tight, everything nice packed in. If you decide, if you decide instead on the other hand that you don't, knees in tight, don't get fucking yelled at. Yep. Take that left hand and shove my left wrist away. Push it. No. This hand here, right hand, shove my left wrist away. Now triangle. And that's it. So cut your angle.
Go.
So we're here.
Find some of the work on this. What is it?
Yeah, you're
5,000.
Yeah, the thigh master.
Thigh
Thigh
master.
master.
Oh, shit.
So,
I'll be fucking blasting forever.
so crash them in. So if we're keeping both, if both hands are in, that's your arm bar. That's your key for your arm bar. You have both, so you're going to keep those closed. And now you're gonna kick across, cut your angle for the armbar.
No,
Haircut? Yep, haircut.
that's one of this. Pick your arm, thumbs up, tap.
That's what you're keying off of. Is, do I have both hands? Are they both up? Take the fucking armbar. It's there all day. As long as you can keep everything packed and tied, that's your armbar. Once you start losing one arm or the other, especially if you have both hips, if you have both shoulders packed in, if I've got both shoulders packed in, but you decide you've got one arm and you just absolutely want to get out of there, now I'm here. If on the other hand, you're pulling the other arm out, that's the nice thing about it. If I can keep wrist control, and I'm here, I've got shoulders packed. If you decide, oh no, I've got to have this fucking arm out. So we can stay in that center position where people feel more comfortable. We haven't cut an angle yet. Let them decide. Are you gonna go, do you want an arm bar? Because I'll keep it, give me both hands. I'll just pick a side whichever I'm more comfortable with. If you're gonna take an arm away, try and go that side. If you're gonna take both away, I'll pick one and cut. And that's the nice thing about this. After sitting with it and working with it and thinking with it, that's what he's teaching. Is it's not fucking like one of his classes. Awesome. And it was just a random bullshit fucking noon class. And after sitting with it and him going through it, talking, I was a blue belt at the time, so he was talking with us upper belts while the white belts had just started drilling, and he's like, keep this. And anytime anybody would loosen it up, he would immediately come over and start yelling at you. So a more harsh training environment, but it was he imparted the importance of it. And having seen his seminars and gone to a couple of classes and things like that with him, he doesn't get excited about certain things, but when you do something that breaks one of his cardinal rules of fucking jiu-jitsu, he will tear into your ass. Which, military background, kind of okay with.
I was thinking, it'd be funny every time I got you twice, you have to wipe outside.
Yeah, fucking go over there. Well, it was just kind of, I remember it was, he had, when he took a picture after one of the seminars, we were all in heat, and so he's like, all right, white keys are in the middle, black keys are over there, blue keys are over there. If you have another color key, stand off to the side. And he was just gonna put us in. And so, I think I was wearing a blue key at the time, so I was over with the rest of the blue keys, it was no big deal. And we had naturally sorted ourselves in the higher belts way at the front, and then as you got lighter belt in the back. And he was sitting there, and his black belts were sitting in the front, of course. And one of the guys was a 3-stripe fucking black belt. And John G's over and talking to the cameraman, and he looks back, and he yells at this dude, who's a massive guy, and again, he's like, oh my God, what are you doing? I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, damn, you get a fucking black belt, you still get no fucking respect. And then the guy next to me is like, oh, you won 2 world championships? Well, fuck you, I won 5. Do what I goddamn say. Fucking stop me.
Can we play with this? I'll try to defend it for a bit, then we'll switch. Sure. So, defending the jump with that. Let's see. Somewhere here.
push yourself away. Versus this way. Feels like you're getting here, and you're trying to extend my arms by going like this. And you're opening the knees. Versus staying in tight. This is kind of where I would probably go with it. Don't want to take this on more. Okay, here, and there. Getting it across.
Brian, do you know the Dead Orchard?
What's that?
Do you know the Dead Orchard? Go on, Brian.
We can talk about the Dead Orchard.
That's what you said. If you cross his legs in front of your face, you're the dead one. But I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm just saying it was dead.
Okay.
Yeah,
You know what else?
What's that?
Deadness, you know what I'm talking about?
I'm just trying to implement anything. It's like,
I mean, it's different. But if you get this guy keeping his elbows inside, and you're able to get your knee in here, and so I can't hip up because he's being strong. So what I'm trying to do is trap and extend. So if I get this here, then I'm pushing his head to get this in front. And this one, I'm not flexible. I'm with both legs, and I get my feet under his neck, with his like arms choked, locked in.
Oh.
And basically, I'll have you do it.
Let me try.
You're flexible enough to do it to me. So,
I think you showed that it's like in here. You know?
so from here, you're keeping these positions, so keep just get one of your legs in front of my face. Yeah, sorry. I'm not putting my arms on your elbows because that's what we do with the other one. So if my arms are locked on your hips and under your armpits, just get brought right here and you got down lock. So ideally, you have them here.
That's fucking nasty.
So if you can transition and you start having me go north, then you have that.
You should,
You want me to do this?
actually know what I'm not position.
No, that fucking double arm lock.
You should be able to get him. I can't do that, like, I know that's a template bullshit. You're still trying to do the same move to him, but because you were able to keep your knees fixed, you're extending his elbows away from his knees. Now, what I want you to think of is keep your knees and then trapping. So boom, and swing out. So try to control his hands in your armpits. So use that chicken wing pinch here. That allows you to hip up and bring, if your knee's okay, and then the other one, keep your elbows pinched back. You might have to force it. Now, I want your toes to point towards his head. I want you to flare your knees out. Right there.
Okay, now someone has to come out.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's more of a, like I said, you have
It's tied together in the back.
It's there. I don't do it. It's a possibility. I'm always That's what you were saying.
Is it the orchard?
Here's the Oh, actually, it might be a sorcerer.
I think it's a sorcerer.
Yeah, the dead orchard is over the head.
Yeah. Because that's what Boogie was fucking killing people with at Nookie World.
The sorcerer, dead orchard. Yeah, no, the sorcerer.
So I wonder if
Fucking bullshit 10 things.
It's a move. I don't know what it's called.
next Wednesday, worth the triple for that you might be interested too, is now what sweeps are going to be available in this game.
So, and that's the other thing is, as long as you stay in nice and tight on those, you have the threat available with your knees there to very quickly transition to like scissor sweeps. They're fucking there. If they suddenly start pressuring again, the flower sweep is there. Again, all of those sweeps are available as you keep those shoulders squared away. So when their posture changes, the only thing that isn't really readily available from, the only guard sweep that isn't readily available is the hip bump, But yeah, that's, I guess the theme of today's is don't go for the first thing. Get yourself set up for success. This is the, from what I've heard, the upper belt training is, we're not being white belts, we're not, the arm bar is there, I'm going to get the arm bar. We're going to set ourselves up for success, and we're going to allow them to tell us which submission they want to be submitted with.
Yeah, well, I think I gave you this feedback, but I can definitely tell that, you know, that period of time when I had a little more jiu-jitsu, you cut up, we seem really evenly matched. And now I can tell definitely the difference when we're rolling is you're going like, you have more options you're playing with. I can kind of just notice it. You know, I'm like, shit, that's what we need. That's what I'm going to be working on, you know, because like as soon as, even with the stand-up man, just obviously when you're going on, I'm getting leaky, but I can tell as soon as you start playing your options, I'm moving further into defense. I'm just trying to not let, you know, start up things that I ain't trying to force my agenda for the same as on the ground. Like, when you start playing bigger options, and I'm just like, what is happening?
And that's, a lot of that is trying to relax into it rather than force the thing, just relax and let jiu-jitsu happen. I keep reiterating to the white belts that this is a lazy man's sport. This is a lazy man's fucking martial art. We're not forcing people to do things. We can, but it's not very jiu-jitsu. If I move into this position, if I'm going for an Americana and you straight your arm, I shouldn't keep going for the fucking Americana. Take the straight arm off, it's right there. Oh, they kept moving it, Kimura's there. Oh, they came back to defend it the other way. Like that exists in all positions, in all moves. If I'm going for a mounted triangle, if they drive their arm up to keep it from going across, okay, I mean, you really want me to arm bar, you want to go. And that's where I'm at.
A few more reps in,
Yeah.
options. So then, this is new, which I like. Since Tony's talking about keeping both of these things here.
So the thing that makes this viable, hold on one second, that you did correctly, but I just want to point out, is if you take this arm and bring it across, or if my hands are switched like this, and you're trying to hold down with this arm, you're not going to be successful. You have to make sure that the arm on top is the one that you're holding down. And I would say with this arm, right there, you have control of my left elbow and my right wrist. I'm not going to. You're getting both arms.
So one of the things I like about this is if I have both these scooped up and I'm coming here, I'm skipping a step down the road of having to, you know, flip roll you and break that example. Scoop down here.
And honestly, I would just keep it. Just what I would get from there, and then just switch this hand to that. Okay. Because again, where am I going to go? Tanner was showing when we're keeping these in, the point that you actually care about if you're going for this arm bar is this point. You need to keep that elbow tapped in there, because it does not matter what else happens, as long as you keep that knee in tight and this elbow at that hip joint, it's a good. And yeah, right there, I'm feeling wrist, and there's not a lot I can do. So, right across, haircut, nice. So, good. We can switch it if you want, or just keep the same position. Yeah. So even though that's the upper arm, just by keeping everything in tight, you still get that one.
Yeah, what I was feeling a little bit on this, obviously, the bone here, I'm tight, legs are getting fatigued there. And I'm here, if I come this way, I'm keeping this hand here, rather than transition.
Yeah.
Wow. Sit there in the office and be like, buddy boy. You want to get a rep or set or anything? Hold on, stand up in the. What's that?
It's definitely a fun spot. You can do it sometime. I've done a lot of I've been teaching where some of the things that work for instead of doing that biological like we want to use clip. Trying to teach the guys to go to that T control. Well, yeah, but guys who don't grapple. I've been trying to teach them. Get around that much. If not, we're trying to teach them inside that. Oh, you guys are teaching outside.
Inside that.
Yeah, you go to inside. But what they do, they fuck up and they try to teach this and use this body position instead of being tight here. They just pull the wrist out. When they pull the wrist out, which is you can do easily because really you guys not too good at that. You got their hips, you can teach their elbow. And your thoughts. Fucking do that. Whatever you want to do.
I was fucking around with my last time I did that. Fucking hook under the one arm and grab the inside of the other elbow.
And she's like, this is not fucking thing. I didn't do it from the front. People don't expect it when I get them like that. They try to posture after I go. But what you were saying about moving from Americana to arm, I was trying to do that to Kenny. I can't control Kenny for shit. And I tell someone, I'm trying to do this. He's like, oh, thank God. Thank God. Because when Tammy's the one who showed up, and I would go for an hour and fuck. And then I saw him go to Tony. I'm like, oh, he did the same shit to me as he did to Tony. And I was like, he's just a little stronger. Yeah, he's a little stronger.
A little stronger, 30 years younger.
He did exactly the same things. I mean, it didn't look as fucking disrespectful as I felt disrespectful.
Right.
And then I don't know if it's what Tanner's reaction is because I'm starting to laugh and he just fucking owns me. I'm just like, that wasn't funny. I'm like, oh, it was funny.
Oh, it was funny.
It's funny. I gave it my all. I was like, I was going for a home run. I was like, oh, that was funny as fuck. I just texted Natalie. I was like, she's been trying to come back in. I go, hey. And I go, yeah, she had me.
She had it?
Yeah, she took me out a week or two ago. I can't keep track of time with this next week. My days off, she knew. But anyways, I was trying to get her to come in. Oh, she said she's like, hey, just come in. There's nobody showing up, so just be one-on-one. And she's like, I might bring the baby if you don't mind. I don't care, you know?
Your baby's just fine.
Yeah.